Hello YouTube, I'm John, he's Gerald.
Captain Sniffles.
Captain Sniffles himself. And we're here to talk about the biggest tech fails of 2016. We were trying to think of the biggest tech fail of all time, and we think, actually, the biggest tech fail of all time might have happened in 2016.
I think we've seen it. I think the Galaxy Note 7 debacle may well be the biggest tech fail of all time. The Note 7 went out to market, was getting good reviews. We liked it when we had it in the office, but went into real people's pockets, because we're not really real people, started blowing up. Now, you can't get much worse than your phone exploding while you have it. That's like quite bad. 2 phone recalls later and a PR offensive. And the Note 7 is looking like it may be the end of the line.
Yes, because so you say two recall because they had the initial recall,
Yep.
recalled them in, they're like, it's all good, we fixed it guys, we got this settled, sent it out, and then one of them started smoking on a plane?
Yep, so now anytime you get on a plane, most airlines are asking, like, what phone do you have? So this is a continued storm of bad press. From Samsung to Yahoo.
Who had a minimum of about 500 million accounts hacked. So this was the news that I think it was usernames and passwords from those accounts were made public. Now, of course, many people, like I think ourselves included, probably have like an old Yahoo account.
Yeah.
So you'd think like,
if you've got a Flickr account, you've got a Yahoo account.
God, yeah. So you maybe think it's not that big of a deal, but if you've got your Yahoo account set up as like a password recovery thing, that means someone can get those details and like log in, like request passwords from other accounts, access lots of other accounts. Maybe you use the same password for lots of different accounts.
Now it's worth remembering that this hack, this leak happened a couple of years ago, and it's only just been exposed in the last couple of weeks.
So from Yahoo to
Apple, and it's inconsistent 2016. So if you buy an Apple product, I think you would expect 2 things. You would want a consistent level of quality from the product itself, and you want a bit of a wow factor to justify the insane price tag that you just laid out for the gig. Now, I think that it's fair to say that the Tech Radar team wasn't fully impressed with Apple stuff this year. So iPhone 7, minor upgrade. MacBook Pro with Touch Bar. That's a Touch Bar looking for a purpose still, even though it's out in the wild now. The Apple AirPods look stupid. That's a wireless ear thing, little cigarettes hanging out of your ear. And they were delayed. So they just didn't really deliver on what you'd expect from Apple this year.
I think the interesting thing about Apple's year is that Apple is a very mainstream company. You know, it's not just for tech fans. Like a lot of people are really interested in what Apple are doing. And I think their mainstream messaging has been a bit off this year. You know, we had the iPhone 7 come out, and everyone I've spoken to has gone like, oh, you have to use wireless headphones with that. You don't, of course. They've got the little adapter there, but that's what people take away from that. The AirPods, like everyone I've spoken to about them, isn't that impressed with how they look. And the Apple Watch is still kind of not really taken off. Like it's gotten better with the Series 2, but it hasn't quite kind of hit that like mainstream adoption yet.
To roll it back to the Note,
Apple
had it teed up for them to knock Samsung out of the water, and they really didn't take the opportunity.
That's unfortunate.
Who is next on our fail list?
Next, dear old Pebble.
Pebble.
Pebble, of course,
Pebble.
Kickstarter. Oh, Pebble. Oh. Pebble, of course, the Kickstarter darling. They had like a new suite of smartwatches due to come out, and they were then bought by Fitbit, who have purchased Pebble, and they've kind of quietly killed off.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of stripped for parts, really. They just want Pebble's software team more than they want any of its hardware, which is a shame because the Pebble hardware is really nice. And when you consider that Pebble really opened the floodgates for the wearable market, whether or not it's arguable that the wearable market is in a terminal decline, depends on who you're asking. It's sad to see them go.
Next up,
Oculus.
Tell me more.
Palmer Luckey.
Right.
So this one's a bit of a contentious one because, you know, it slightly sits outside the realms of an actual product. But, you know, can you separate the man from the machine that he created?
Yes.
So Palmer Luckey was exposed to be using some kind of underhand political tactics ahead of this year's US presidential race. So he was funding what is like essentially like a trolling group to attack Hillary Clinton. Now, regardless of your political allegiance, Tech Radar makes no comment on that. To be technically a Facebook employee, considering that Oculus is now owned by Facebook, and to be using your many millions / maybe nearly billions to be funding trolls does not bode well.
That's true, and I think that the issue a lot of people have with this is not so much the political allegiance, but it's the underhand way you're doing it. It's the way you're not disclosing it. He wasn't contributing to a campaign, like guerrilla tactics and that sort of thing.
Yeah, which is a shame because Oculus, great product.
But that wasn't the only problems that Facebook had this year.
No, they've had to deal with a slew of fake news. Proliferating their network.
And that's of course the issue. You have kind of smaller sites that don't don't quite have the kind of the journalistic and editorial guidelines there to kind of like weed out fake news, happily kind of posting stuff, it getting picked up on Facebook, it being shared to like millions and millions of people.
Yeah. So the problem there is technology is allowing the spread of misinformation, which is undermining people's votes. So Facebook is attempting to sort that out with new ways of weeding out the fake stuff from its algorithms. It's getting editorial, third-party editorial people to come in and say, no, that's not real. Yes, that's real. Will it ever go away?
Every single bit of news has a political bias, but one person's bias is another person's spin, is another person's lie. And drawing that line is really, really difficult. So that was 2016 in tech fails.
A big steaming pile of tech fail.
I feel like we plumbed the depths of tech fails this year.
Oh, it was a deep well.
It was a very deep well. Kind of a rough year.
Kind of a rough year, but a good year for gaming.
Very good year for gaming. If you want to see more about what happened in this year in gaming, then check out our video on that very topic.
But if you don't want to know about gaming, and you do want to know more about us, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep feeding you tech fails, tech wins, tech reviews, tech hands-on, tech week with. Tech gaming. Whatever tech you could possibly want to tech to your tech, we will tech it for you.
See you, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy New Year.
Yay! We did it.